Okay, YouTube. Today, I'm going to do a channeled message from your person. What's going on for them, how they see this connection, and what's going on for them. Okay, so I'm going to start off with tarot today. The Star, Hope. To see what your person is going through right now. What's going on that you're not aware of? What is the situation for the person on my collective's mind, please? Okay, so the Moon reversed. Releasing fear, unveiling secrets, subsiding anxiety, truth, regaining composure, and self-deception. So this is coming out of that energy, so that's good. I think they're going through a purging. They might be even in like a rest mode, like hermit mode. The path may not be clear, but my intuition lights the way, one step at a time. Page of Cups, child, inner child, youthfulness, idealism, sensitivity, dreamer, inner voice, spirituality, psychic, messages, happy news, naivete, crush, and admirer. So when I look at that following the moon, I want to say that things that gave them fear and anxiety, things that they developed since childhood because of examples shown to them, they're releasing those things. They are working on those things. Even just it's becoming illuminated to them, the things that they have picked up because of the example they were shown as a child, and noticing how they treat people or how they behave now as an adult because of those things, and recognizing it and releasing it. But also that it's another card of intuition, because the moon is intuition. It's the feminine. It's tapping into your third eye, the things that you can't see but you can feel. So I want to say the Page of Cups, they really are leaning into their intuition as well as their spirituality, their sensitivity. They might have shied away from their sensitivity in the past because they thought it was a weakness, but now they're releasing that fear and recognizing that it's a strength that they need to lean into, because if they come into a relationship with you, you need that sensitive side, you need that emotional, empathetic, compassionate side of them to feel safe. With the Knight of Swords in reverse, so they're going over missed opportunities, and they might also be feeling a bit left behind or out of control, in the sense of they feel like they don't have control of the situation currently, because they're working on these things. And also part of this would be realizing how tactless and hurtful they were in the past because of these childhood wounds that they had, that they're now learning about and releasing. And also that's one of the quickest moving knights in the deck. So for it to be in reverse, I think they're choosing to not be impulsive when it comes to you. Maybe they were impulsive with you in the past. Okay, the moon in reverse is the Three of Pentacles. So that's about working together and collaborating. So I think they're realizing through these, coming out of this self-deception in regards to this connection, they're realizing that they had a lot of learning to do as far as how the relationship went in the past, but as well as their growth and commitment to making this work potentially in the future. Page of Cups. With the Sun in reverse. So I think that that to confirm the Page of Cups for me is because the Sun in reverse is ego and unrealistic expectations and sadness, and it's like the things that they're realizing, all the love that they have for you and the things that they're realizing were contributed to their treatment of you was a result of an unhappy child. Not that their entire childhood was unhappy. They probably have a lot of fond memories of their childhood too, but the things that they reflect on that they know caused them to not treat you right because the example they had growing up was not good. And they realize that losing you, losing their love, created a lot of unhappiness for them. Knight of Swords. Crushed. Sad, broken, feeling alone. So again, for that to confirm, Knight of Swords in reverse, they're going over the missed opportunities, realizing how hurtful they were and feeling sad about the situation, how they left the situation. I'm feeling this was out of my depth. I was putting the cart before the horse and not really considering how I was treating this person poorly. And now that I reflect back on it, I have some serious growth, because I don't want this to be the person that got away, the one that got away, with signs on the bottom. So they're seeing signs of you, but the universe is always also giving them signs on what they need to work on, showing them their own behavior through other people. So if other people are treating them the way they treated you, it's showing them what it was like to be on the other end of their treatment. Ten of Cups in reverse. So unhappy home, family life, dysfunctional family, broken home. So again, they're reflecting on the home that they came from, the examples that they were set as children about what love looks like. What they were shown was not happy. So it caused them to be scared of it, this fear of being vulnerable with you, my collective, because love to them growing up was toxic. So being vulnerable with you and truly falling and having to step up as a person to treat you right was too big of a duty for them. So they ran from the situation, but ultimately they wanted a happy family with you, but they caused unhappiness, and they might have even blamed you for a long time. Legal, court, paperwork filed. So maybe in this time as well of separation, they've been dealing with some legal issues. Maybe they've had run-ins with the law because of conflict on the bottom. Conflict, fighting, arguments, rows, disagreements, struggle, opposition, battles, aggression, temper, clashing personalities, egos, strikes, chaos, unruliness, being defensive, territorial. So something's been going on in their life where, one, I think this was what they witnessed a lot of growing up. A lot of arguments and toxic treatment between parents, as well as the people they were surrounding themselves. I think it's caused a lot of conflict in their life. Clashes of ego, toxic friendships, exposing things, and just being, and if that's made them caused some kind of legal situation for them, it's a big lesson that they've had to learn for them to be going through right now and trying to clear. So it's like a mix of 3D things, problems that they've caused for themselves. It's self-inflicted because they chose to be around those situations, but also the realizations of what they grew up around and what they want to do differently. Be like a cycle breaker, generational curse breaker. So let's see how they see you and view this connection. Okay. Okay, so the first one to fly out was distance. So there could be physical distance, as in you would have to, I'm hearing air travel, so you might have to fly to one another. That might be how much distance, but also emotional distance. Although that's a given, because if they're clearing things out and these are things that you don't know, this is a channeled message from your person. So distance is something that they think about when it comes to this connection. So I want to say that this might be a challenge that they are trying to think, like, how would we make this work with this distance? Abandonment, I'm seeing that as they are very aware that they abandoned you in this connection, maybe multiple times, because like I said before, they ran from the connection because they didn't want to do the work that it was required to fix the issues that they had developed from their childhood trauma. And the examples that they were shown as a child in their own family, they just thought that they are who they are and it's not going to change and we're too toxic together and it is what it is and all this kind of attitude. But in this time apart, it's like the universe has been forcing them to grow by showing them these putting themselves in these stupid situations to learn. They're being forced to learn, but they know they abandoned you, and distance is something that they go over. It's like a challenge in their mind, because this is how they see the connection. So distance and abandonment is a big issue here. But union, they want union with you. This is how they see the connection. So even though there's distance and abandonment, they struggle because they want to be with you. But these are things that it's like, if they did abandon you, how do I repair this? And if there's distance, how do we make this work? Distance. Denial. So it might, what I'm hearing is that the denial to confirm distance is more about the fact that they're denying this connection because they're thinking it'll never work because of the distance. But that's just not true. If they don't have any real ties to where they are, they can start new anywhere they want. I'm like hearing single white female. Like, you might have family where you are, but you're a single person that can start a new life anywhere. Like, that's the adventure of life. Like, you can start anywhere if you don't have anything that's really keeping you where you are. And if you're close with your family, they can always visit. It's like, you shouldn't hold your life back because of that. You could be anywhere. And if being with this person is going to make you happy, and that's the person you want to grow old with, then that's where you should be. If there's nothing really tying you to the place that you live now. Ancient Egypt, past lives under abandonment. So through this abandonment, they've realized that this is a very deep connection that was fated, that you've shared all your life, like had many lifetimes together. Union. Love bombing. So I think that it's almost like they're seeing how they used a lot of flattery and charm and manipulation to create union in the first instance. Because if this is how they see the connection, you may have even moved to be with this person the first time. And then when it all went to shit, they didn't really appreciate the sacrifices you made to be with them. They might have said that they appreciate it, but did they truly know what they did and how they affected your life? Because I'm just going to say it, if you moved for this person, it affected your finances, may have lost a job, you might have moved away from family. And I know I said earlier, if you're single and you've got nothing tied to you here, you don't like have a business that's reliant on where you live, or you have you don't have a child or something, you don't have anything to really, you can pick up and start over somewhere new. But if you had to move for this person before and made a lot of sacrifices, and they said all the right things to convince you to make that big move, and then they abandoned you, how do they come back from that? Because if this is how they're, if this is how they're seeing the connection, then they know what they did. And I think that they're probably in denial about whether it can actually, they can even come back from this. Married. So that next to union, I feel like that was a promise. They were, even if you weren't actually married, it was a promise made, but also the connection felt like it was serious enough that it felt like you were a marriage, you were spouses, because that's how they're viewing you, as a spouse, and they've created this distance here. Can we confirm married, please? Yeah, hot and cold. So they were probably making a big commitment to you one minute, and then the next minute revoking it, and it just completely derailed your whole life. And it sent them into a dark night of the soul, because they had to really reflect on how they treated you and how this ended because of them. And they're very aware of that. I can see this here very clearly, that they're very aware that they caused the problems here. They weren't the right partner for you at that time. And the universe, their angels, their ancestors, their guides, basically during this dark night of the soul, they probably made a lot of stupid decisions and hung around in the wrong people and got advice from the wrong people and just behaved in a very immature way, and the universe made sure to show them exactly what they were like and give them karma and consequences for their actions. Okay. So before I get the message cards from them, I'll get the tarot again just to see what the future of this connection is. Because if this all happened, if they're still kind of sitting in that energy of like, I don't even know how to begin to start making this right, we want to see if there's any movement from them towards you. Challenging traditions, so maybe traditions in their life, or religion, or institutions, or upbringing culture was something that was always in the background, and they were constantly in and out of, let's say if it's religion, it's like they had 1 foot in it and 1 foot out, and they kind of cherry picked when they would use their religion as an excuse for things, because they actually lived quite an unconventional lifestyle that went against it anyway. So it's like, are you this religion or are you not? Like, you use it as a detriment, but then you use it as an excuse, but then you don't fully practice it either. Like, which is it? With the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, so improvement in finances, luck, end of hardship, positive change. So it's showing like, as in for the future of this connection, a positive change happening. They're learning from their mistakes. But with the death in reverse, it's fear of beginning. So again, that just confirms for me the fear of not knowing how to resurrect this, or how to even begin to take accountability for the destruction of this from before. But they're seeing that they're repeating negative patterns. They've done it however long this separation has been. They have been repeating negative patterns and blaming everyone else but themselves for these constant like things happening to them, or being treated wrongly, but they kept being the one to put themselves in that situation. they've only got themselves to blame, and they have to realize that that's something they have to grow out of. They have to take accountability for the things that have happened in their life. Their deceitful behavior, they've been deceitful and underhanded. With that Seven of Swords, they've just deceit, lies, trickery, cheating, theft, underhanded, scheming, dangerous, risky behavior, enemy masquerading as a friend, spying, lack of conscience, strategy, resourceful. Your person, this is how they've been behaving. And this was trickling in before your connection, your relationship came to an end even. They started acting this way, and then it just amplified after you, and they would have seen making excuses for it, that it's all happening to them, not that they're creating that environment themselves. And that's very toxic behavior. They are their own problem, and they were refusing to see it, but then their angels were like making them see it. They had no choice but to see the lesson. However many times they had to be burned before they learnt. Indecisiveness, self-doubt, malicious gossip, that ties into the Seven of Swords, scheming, risky behavior, trickery, deceit, lies, malicious gossip, lack of self-awareness, that's confirmation. They kept blaming everyone else for their shitty circumstances that they put themselves in. Unwillingness to learn karmic lessons, so they would just be constantly repeating the same negative cycles because they kept blaming everyone else, poor me, playing the victim. But then they would be the kind of person to turn around and say, you're playing the victim, but they were the one playing the victim. Messy. This is not good. Death in reverse. But making investments with the Seven of Pentacles, so that's good. It's like the the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles is very good because it means that there's improvement in their finances. If this is the behavior of theirs and they're recognizing it, then moving forward, they're trying to really get their life together and grow, putting in the hard work to see long-term results instead of wanting short-term gratification all the time, trying to manifest a new cycle, starting a new cycle, because they're sick of the bad luck. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The wheel just kept turning against them because they weren't learning or growing. They just kept doing the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result, and that's crazy. This person had a lot of growing up to do, a lot of emotional immaturity here, a lot of victim mentality, but they're walking away. They know, I think that they're seeing now that all this karma they've been getting has been because of their own fault and also how they treated you. They're getting karma for it because you were this pure person that just loved them and wanted to be with them, and they just destroyed you. But they're walking away from that now. They're walking away from things that no longer serve them. They're recognizing through self-discovery that they have to let go. It's like they've reached their limit and they cannot refuse to see the lessons anymore. So they're going into introspection, looking deeper and walking away from all those things that aren't good for them, and learning that they are creating it. If you believe that you create the life you want with your own thoughts, then you have to change the way you're behaving. Your world is a reflection of who you surround yourself with and the thoughts that you have. That's manifesting. So they're manifesting their own bad luck, their own pain, 10 of Swords, backstabbing, betrayal. All that stuff is what they've been dealing with. because of their own stupid behavior. Enemies, bitching, bad-mouthing, bitterness, doormat, failure, ruin, collapse, breakdown, exhaustion, inability to cope, curses, rock bottom. Your person had to hit rock bottom because they dived right into every toxic thing that they could do, hung around and got involved with toxic people and situations, got addicted to it and just kept repeating it over and over and over again, and then felt sorry for themselves like they were the victim, but they egged it on is what I'm hearing. It's their own fault. They're seeing it now though. Their team have made sure of them to see it. But they have someone in their life, an emperor in reverse, a dictator, someone that they were close to that is stubborn, lack of discipline. This is a card of Aries, so it could be an Aries that they were connected to or are connected to. That's an emperor in reverse, manipulative, controlling, abusive power, someone that your person was easily puppeted by. And this is also father issues. So again, childhood issues. But this is what they need to, this is what they're working on. I am my own authority. I have the will and the power to create my own life structures. But they also might have an issue with authority. So they could have a lot of problems with keeping a job because they can't take orders, and just chaos everywhere they go, starting fires everywhere they go, but they won't learn their lesson. They're having to learn it now, but I think this is also someone in their life that they've been influenced by, that have put them into all these situations. That being said, they are the author of their own life, so they kept putting themselves in that situation. But on the bottom, you've got the Empress, so they see you as nurturing, motherhood, sensuality, creativity, beauty, femininity, nature, harmony, art. They know that you are a light that they burnt out, and I don't think they know how to come back from that yet. But connecting to the earth reminds me that abundance is limited. That to be on the bottom is the overall energy. So all this stupid shit that they've done, they're coming into this realization that their deceitfulness, their arrogance, their backstabbing, enemies, gossip, bad luck, karma, underhanded scheming, all that stuff is just gross energy that you don't deserve, and they know that. To have the Empress, they need to be the Emperor upright, not reversed. They can't come in trying to dominate and control you, because it's not going to work. So let's get some messages from them. It's good that they're learning this. I know I kind of went a bit off there, but this is what it's like if you're in a deep soul connection with someone. You have lessons and much, much growth to do, so that when you come back together, you can actually love each other properly, and then be an example to others on how to learn, grow, and love unconditionally. Truth is, I'm in love with you. Perfect. So again, you got the Empress on the bottom. The overall energy is they know that you're the Empress, and all that shitty behavior cannot come into any kind of reunion with you. If they want union and marriage, like it said, I'm going to put a ring on it when the time is right. Marriage. They want to marry you. They want to make this legitimate and a real thing. They're in love with you. They want to marry you. You're their Empress. They have to clear out that shit that they've been living in. And if there is distance, they need to come to you. I'm learning how to love myself thanks to you. So I want to say that they're watching you, and not in a creepy way, more of like I feel like they watch you, and whatever you do or post, it's like they watch you and they're proud of you. They've seen you kind of come into your own. One more. You are so smart, you have me figured out. So whenever that comes out, it just confirms for me that I'm picking up the right message, I'm on the right track, but as well that you called them on a lot of their shit, but they weren't ready to hear it yet. It was easier to lie to you than tell you the truth. I wish I could take it all back. So deceitful, underhanded, being sneaky, just shitty behavior, and they're aware and now they need to change it so that they can come in and put a ring on it when the time is right, which is lovely. I think they are learning. They need to get some courage to come forward to you still, because they don't have to be perfect and be wealthy and all this, but they need to be courageous, is what I'm hearing.